Now I often get asked down in the comment section, Mumbo, what is your favourite redstone circuit? And to that I think, well, there's a lot of them. Now obviously there are certain circuits that I use all of the time. For example, this little one-tick monostable circuit here, you'll probably see in pretty much every single one of my redstone builds. And that is because it's so simple and so easy to create, but it's not particularly interesting. Then you have the T flip-flop, which is actually made up of that one-tick monostable. It's cool. It was one of the first redstone circuits I actually learnt, and I've always quite liked the name, T flip-flop. And then of course we've got this little thing. I just like this thing because it's smart. I use it all the time on the Hermitcraft server. Auto dropper circuits. Yeah, they're pretty nice, but none of them are particularly exciting. And I definitely wouldn't put my finger on any of them saying they are in fact my favourite. You see, the issue with favourite is that it's not necessarily the one that's most useful, and it's not the one that you use most frequently, it's the one that you like the most. And that's actually quite difficult to come up with, but one definitely comes to mind, and is one that I personally really enjoy using in quite a handful of my redstone builds. I'm sure at least some of you can guess it. In front of me, I have got a piston feed tape. It's called a piston feed tape because pistons feed blocks around in a circular, or at least a Minecraft circular motion, going around like that. When we hit this button right here, you will see that the pistons fire, and then the other pistons fire, causing the blocks to be pushed around infinitely. We could do this until the end of time, nothing would change, and that's because these blocks are being cycled about. Now this has got a handful of absolutely brilliant uses, and I've been using them for a very long time indeed. In fact, let's pop back into the history books. Now it all started in the early days of my YouTube channel, way back when there weren't too many people in the redstone community. But one of the top guns was a chap called CMB Minecraft. Now he made incredibly good videos. His tutorials were really clear and easy to understand, and to this day I still take inspiration for them 5 years down the line. So I guess that shows just how ahead of the curve he was. And the video that we're going to be talking about is one where he built a working digital clock. Now when he started talking about the fact that he was going to be rotating blocks around, and those blocks were going to make up the memory reel, which would then display the number on the screen, it completely blew my mind. And from that moment on, till about 2 months later, pretty much every single redstone contraption that I worked on involved some form of piston feed tapes. I developed about 100 different combination locks, I had all sorts of piston doors, I developed my own 7-segment displays, and I just went completely crazy with it. And to this day, I'm still going completely crazy with them. To those of you who caught the hint earlier on in the video, this guy right here is essentially a very big and very fancy piston feed tape. Sure, we've got a lot of redstone logic going on, and we've got plenty of circuitry that's really very interesting, but the main heart of it is the face. The face that rotates around, showing different emotions depending on what sort of resources we have inside, and the way that we do that is of course using a piston feed tape. And this thing right here is probably one of my favourite redstone builds in general. Now there are a number of different reasons why I like these things so much, but number one has to be the fact that they're very good at storing information, and they're a very easy to understand way of storing information. So you can store memory in Minecraft in a number of different ways by using latches and binary arrays and things like that, or alternatively you can use the mechanical piston feed tape. So inside this thing we have got all of the instructions to do a triple piston extension. So we have got a cauldron that is powering this comparator, which is powering these pistons. We hit this button right here, and you can see that now these two cauldrons right here are powering both of these pistons. Then we hit the button again. We've got all 3 cauldrons powering all 3 of the pistons, and now it's time for the complicated bit, which is the retraction. So there we go. That one retracts. These 2 are still extended. And then there we go. We've got some retraction going on. We have some even more retraction going on. Yet more retraction. And the final block retraction, everything retracted, and we've gone back to normal. How cool is that? They can also make very good and very big block swappers. That's kind of what they do. As you can see right here, we have this rather strange looking fella. He's got lovely hair, absolutely fantastic hair, really nice nose, but the beard is a little bit strange. So we're going to hit this button right here, and that will swap out all of the blocks, and it will give us a new one. Oh, I love this redstone contraption. Definitely another one of my favourite builds. But as 2012 Mumbo will tell you, the best thing about piston feed tapes is the fact that you can combine their block swapping abilities and their memory storage abilities to create a combination lock. So here we have a block swapper, and we also have a memory reel, which is storing the information about the combination lock. And as we hit this button, not only will the block swap, but also the memory reel will swap as well. Now, when the memory reels match up, the cauldron is in front of the comparator, which will deactivate this redstone torch, which is running to the AND gate. When the memory reels match up of all the combination locks, and all of the memory reels are doing this, that means that the colors are in the correct location, and that means that the door should open up. It's a really interesting concept, and is one that I messed around with a lot back in the early days of my YouTube channel. Which brings me quite nicely onto the final point of this video, which is that piston feed tapes are kind of nostalgic for me, which is a little bit strange, but I would say they are one of the main contributing factors into getting me into the world of Redstone and getting me interested in this rather strange side of Minecraft that seems to be ever expanding. Well, at least as far as my Redstone testing world is concerned. I mean, look at the size of this place. Anyway, I seriously hope you enjoyed this slightly different style of video. It was a ton of fun to create. If you did, please hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later. Oh, and of course, as always, you should check out the latest film on the filming channel. My friend's car is super cool. This is a good video.